The government has announced that there won't be a public inquiry into the 1974 Birmingham Pub Bombings, saying they believe an independent commission will be effective. We'll be speaking to one of the people behind Justice for the 21 campaign group, Julie Hambleton, whose sister was killed in the attacks. Welcome back to Saturday Morning Live. On Thursday, the government announced that there won't be a public inquiry into the 1974 Birmingham pub bombings. 21 people died and 220 were injured when bombs exploded at the Mulberry Bush and the Tavern in the town pubs. Security Minister Dan Jarvis said that after careful consideration, the Home Office would not commit to an inquiry because it feels an ongoing independent commission investigation will be effective.
Well, with us now is Julie Hambleton from Justice for the 21, whose sister Maxine was killed in the bombings. Good morning, Julie, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'd be really grateful for your reaction to the government's decision this week to not hold an inquiry into that shocking attack.
Good morning, both, and thank you for inviting me onto your show. Well, all the families are clearly outraged, disappointed and saddened because the commission that they're trying to push us down has absolutely no independence whatsoever, particularly when you consider that the highest office in the land, the Home Office, is actually implicated in our case, which makes for very worrying listening. When you consider that our mother, who will be 92 soon, she had to identify my sister, who you can see in the background here, of what was left of her remains. What we want is the truth. We don't want money. We don't want an apology. All we want is the truth. For decades, we've been told by the British establishment that they have absolutely no files or documentation on what remains England's longest unsolved mass murder of the 20th century. But now, all of a sudden, they want to scoop us up into this Legacy Act and the Information Commission to share files that we've been told don't exist.
Julie, it's incredible, really inspirational how hard and well you've been fighting for your sister over all these decades. The government obviously says that this isn't some sort of cop-out. They just think that the inquiry that they've set up is actually best placed to handle the investigation into the 1974 pub bombings. They say that this commission has all of the resources and the money that it will need to investigate this properly. You don't agree with that?
No, not at all. How can a commission, and it's not independent, how can it be independent? It's been paid for by us, the taxpayers, through government. How can it be independent? It's also not Article 2 compliant either. Plus, with the Home Office implicated in our case, it would be tantamount to the government marking its own homework. Let me put your viewers in the picture here, which is really important. In 1990, Chris Mullin, who was then, I believe, an MP, did an interview on LBC where he stated that he had evidence that proved the Home Office knew who the real bombers were. The actual quote he said was, they knew who did it.
And so,
now,
yeah,
sorry.
Well, obviously that's a big claim, and we'll have to, check that later, and we can't answer for that right now. But your concern, Julie, obviously, is that you won't get the answers because they're not having a specific inquiry into this incident when other inquiries are being opened about the troubles at the moment. Some critics we've spoken to this week have told GB News that they think this is another example of two-tier justice, that there are inquiries for some incidents connected to the Troubles, but not for all. What do you make of that concern?
Well, they're absolutely correct. It is two-tier. That this is in this short interview, Charlie, I invite you to come to Birmingham to meet our families and listen to what we have been faced with. You are such a fantastic representative, and GB News, of victims of heinous crimes. I implore you, come to Birmingham, speak to us, and you will learn how we've been ignored, treated with contempt, and totally and utterly dismissed by every single government institution and the senior management at West Midlands Police over the years, to such a degree that the old adage that was made by an ex-judge in Northern Ireland, I think it was, where she said anything to do with terrorism in the UK and it leaves victims' families, it leaves them with deny, delay and death. Because for years they've denied they've got evidence, then when they can't deny it anymore, they delay letting us have access, and in the hope that we will all die. One of our followers, a fantastic lady called Lorna, put this on Facebook yesterday. She made a fantastic statement, but out of it, she says, by refusing us an inquiry, the government has chosen political comfort over principle and secrecy over sunlight. It has told us, the families, in effect, that our pain, loss, grief and continued injustice is expendable. Their truth is too inconvenient. And that is what we're faced with.
And that is incredibly powerful. Hilary Benn, the Northern Ireland Secretary, has said that he will try and reform the Commission so that victims' families are properly heard, because, as you say, there is a real concern that victims have just been ignored for decades. Is that commitment from the government, does that go any way to making you feel a little bit better about the way this has been handled?
Absolutely not, no. The Commission is a completely not a scam. It's a whitewash. It gives the government total control over the narrative. Stephen Travers, who survived the Miami band massacre over 50 years ago, I'm in contact with him. He's a good friend of ours, and he's made a very short statement to me that really encapsulates everything. And he said, how can the government promise the truth via the Information Commission while still promising to hide it? Because what you need to understand is that Stephen Travers asked Hilary Benn, because he met him earlier in the year, and he said, Stephen Travers said to Hilary Benn, will you be giving the families who engage in the Information Commission, will you be giving them access to the public interest immunity orders, which are to do with the government being able to bury their own dirty secrets? And Hilary Benn was horrified at this question, and he said, absolutely not, no. And so Stephen Travers said to him, well, if you're not going to give them access to that, then you can't give them the truth, because the PIIs have have most of the answers that the families want. A public inquiry is the only way forward for our case, because it compels witnesses to come and give evidence. And the Commission is not a complete whitewash. They want to control the narrative. The government wants to control what victims' families go and can hear, and it won't always, most certainly won't be the truth and all of the truth, and it claims to be transparent, and it isn't, and it won't be.
Julie Hamilton from Justice for the 21, thank you for your time this morning, and I will take up that offer, of course, to come and meet you and the families in Birmingham.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you both.
Well, obviously, Hilary Benn is not here to defend himself, and the Home Office would reject any claims that it is implicated in any way in rejecting that inquiry. But a spokesperson for the ICRIR said that the Commission does not routinely comment on specific cases. The courts in Northern Ireland have recognised that the Commission is an appropriately independent public authority, both operationally and organisationally.
We respect people's choices about whether they come to the Commission, and our door will always remain open to all. The Commission is dedicated to finding answers for all those who seek our help.
We will continue this work for the over 220 individuals who have already come to us in their quest for truth and justice. And a government spokesperson said that our deepest sympathies remain with all those who were left bereaved by the horrific pub bombings in Birmingham in 1974, as well as those survivors left with life-changing injuries.
We know they are looking for answers, and we are committed to helping them in this search for the truth. We believe the most appropriate route to pursue this is through the Independent Commission for Reconciliation Reconciliation and Information Recovery, which is already investigating over 100 Troubles-related cases and will be strengthened by the Troubles Bill.
Well, still to come on